This is the POCO X8 Pro, and in this long-term detailed review, let's take a look at if this smartphone is worth your hard-earned money or not. So without wasting any precious time, let's begin. So here's a quick disclaimer. This here is the base variant with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. And I bought the smartphone with my own money to make this review. So clicking that subscribe button would bring us some joy. And with that said, I've split this review into 3 sections: the great, the good, and the not so good. And in this way, you can easily come to a conclusion if the smartphone is for you or not. And with that said, let's get into the great stuff about this smartphone. And first up is definitely the performance. As you all know, the POCO X8 Pro is definitely a performance-oriented smartphone. And it actually shows, in fact, it is like really good at doing it. The Dimensity 8500 Ultra coupled with 8 gigs of LPDDR5X RAM, 256 gigabytes of UFS 4.1 storage allow the smartphone to be like crazy powerful for the price. So when it comes to gaming, you can definitely achieve like 120 FPS in games like BGMI and Call of Duty, like really smooth experience. It is consistent 120 FPS. Of course, you need to lower the settings a bit, but you can definitely get that smooth gaming experience. Even for higher end games, this smartphone can handle all that like at 60 FPS. Now, if you're playing Genshin Impact a lot, you can definitely experience like smooth 60 FPS gameplay consistently. So I've made a gaming review. It'll be linked somewhere here. Please do check it out. But in brief, let me tell you, this smartphone is amazing for gaming and even for day-to-day use. Of course, this is like pretty smooth. Now you might wonder, with all this power, will the smartphone heat up? And truth be told, it actually doesn't heat up, and that is like a really huge positive. The only time I've actually noticed like extreme heating is when I continuously ran synthetic benchmarks like 3D Mark, and that is when the smartphone actually got hot. But in real world usage, no one is going around doing stress tests, so you need not worry about this. So even if you're playing games for like more than an hour, which is not recommended, but if you're planning to do that, this smartphone won't get uncomfortably hot, so you are good there. So in terms of performance, you are not going to be disappointed. So this here is really good when it comes to performance. And supporting this fast and smooth performance is this amazing 6.59-inch AMOLED 120Hz display. Now nowadays smartphones are like 6.7, 6.8 inches, sometimes even 6.9, but POCO decided to go with a 6.59-inch display. I mean, it's not compact, but it's not too huge either. So I really like the screen size, and watching content on this, basically consuming media, playing games is really amazing. The 120Hz display is like really beneficial when it comes to gaming, and the beautiful AMOLED display, the really good colors is like a visual treat when you're watching movies or any videos. Now there is support for HDR on this in both Netflix and YouTube and any other platforms that you're using, so that is great. Now in under harsh sunlight conditions, the display is definitely legible. You can read what is there on screen. It is not extremely bright, but it is definitely legible, and you can definitely see what is on the screen. So overall, when it comes to display, again, the POCO X8 Pro has a really top-notch one. Now the next best thing is the battery life. The 6500 mAh battery on this definitely will last you for a very long time. So I did make a shots recently, and I put this smartphone through a lot just to test the battery, and I got more than like 11 hours 10 minutes of screen on time, which is like really a lot considering I put this smartphone through a lot, like hours and hours of watching content, playing games, and even doing some stress testing in between. So even after doing all that, this smartphone still got me like 11 hours plus of screen on time. So in real world use, if you're a light user, you can definitely get 2 days worth of battery life out of this smartphone. And if you're a heavy user, you can comfortably end a day with like say 20 or sometimes even 30% of battery life, and that is good. And coupled with this, you get 100-watt wired charging, and that really is beneficial because you have a huge battery, and to charge it up like really quick, you do need so much power, and this definitely helps with that. So you can charge your phone from 0 to 100 in about like 50 minutes, 55 minutes or so, and it does work really well. And another added bonus is that you do get 27-watt reverse wired charging, so that is even more beneficial if your other phone or someone else's phone is running low on charge. Next up, the speakers. You do get stereo speakers here, and let me tell you, these are pretty good speakers. Now they are loud and the quality of the sound is actually good. So it's not like when you're at higher volumes the audio is distorted. No, the audio is loud, crisp and detailed. So if you're watching a movie, you can definitely hear, little aspects of the movie here and there without any issues. There is support for Dolby Atmos, so that also comes into play. So overall, the speaker on the POCO X8 Pro is definitely good and loud and detailed. Now in terms of the connectivity, you get Wi-Fi 7, you get Bluetooth 6.0, and all those work really well. The Wi-Fi speeds are good. The Bluetooth connection has been solid when I'm connecting earphones, so no issues there. And even in terms of the call quality, there has been no issues whatsoever, so everything works fine. Now here you get an optical fingerprint sensor, but this here is pretty snappy. So there's really no lag in this. It is like instant. So I really like the fingerprint sensor on this. Despite this being an optical one, it still is really good. Next up is definitely the ergonomics. Now looks are subjective, so that is up to you to decide if you like the phone's looks or not. But in terms of ergonomics, this smartphone is really comfortable to hold. So this here is a 6.59-inch smartphone, so it's not too big. And let me tell you, that is actually a very good thing for day-to-day use. In fact, it allows your hands to be much more free from hand gymnastics. So that here is a great thing. And this here is a 201-gram smartphone, but it doesn't feel that heavy. So the weight distribution is really nice. I really don't find the smartphone heavy, and that here is an amazing thing. And even the way the metal is curved on the sides, it sits really well in your hand. And let me tell you, in terms of ergonomics, this smartphone is really well built and is comfortable to hold on to. And you also get IP68 rating, so this is water resistant. Really don't put it inside water, but if something accidental happens, you are covered. And the final best thing about this smartphone is definitely the box contents. Yes, this is something unusual, but if the user gets like all the necessary stuff inside the box when they buy a smartphone, that is a huge positive from my side. And with the POCO X8 Pro, you do get a charger which is 100 watts, you do get the cable, you do get a case which is actually good. And let me tell you, getting all this with your smartphone in the box is a huge positive, so that is great. And with that said, let's move on to the things that are good about the smartphone. So that basically means it is good, but not like really superb even for this price range. And that is the cameras. So you get 3 cameras here: a 50 megapixel main sensor, an 8 megapixel ultra wide, and a 20 megapixel selfie camera. So let's start with the main camera first. Now this here is a surprisingly good camera. The images are sharp, detailed, and you really do get nice bokeh thanks to its 1.5 aperture size. Now the end image is a little more on the contrastier side with slightly added saturation, but it actually makes it look pleasing. And another thing that I noticed is that if you're shooting a still subject, the picture turns out really good. But if you're shooting a moving subject, like clicking a picture of a moving subject, the final output does have some, like kind of that smearing effect. And that is because of the shutter lag. It's not like super quick like you get on the higher end smartphones. So that is something that you need to take into note. Another thing that I felt is that this camera is not the most consistent. So you might be shooting the same picture, but sometimes you might get the perfectly exposed picture, but at times you might get an overexposed image. Of course, you can just fix it by tapping on the desired area and reducing the exposure. But if you're planning to just take your smartphone like this and click a picture, most of the times it will definitely turn out good, but at times there is a tendency for the smartphone to kind of overexpose. But one very important thing to notice is that in challenging lighting conditions, the post-processing is not the best. So if you take a look at this image here, you can see kind of in order to balance out the overexposed background and my underexposed face, it has done some processing that makes the image look like really weird. But apart from all of this, if you're shooting in a really well lit condition, there is like sufficient light, the end image turns out really good. It's slightly contrastier and has slightly added saturation, but other than that, it's actually pleasing to look at and it's really good. Now when it comes to low light shots, even without night mode on, the image is definitely good and usable, and there is noise but not that much. But if you turn on night mode, you will actually get a pretty good image. Of course, there will be noise, but it definitely is useful and you can use the low light shot without any hesitation. Now, the videos that come out of this smartphone are good too. That is with the main camera, because you get 4K 60 FPS support here, and the final video output is pretty good. The color and the sharpness are on point, and I've noticed there's no focus hunting, so that is a huge thing. Now even in low light, the performance is good, and the only gripe I have is that the minimum focusing distance is actually not that close, so you need to keep your smartphone a little far away to get the perfect focus. Yeah, that is one thing that you need to take note. But apart from that, the main camera is pretty good, so I would give this say a 7 or 7.5 out of 10, the main camera. Now when it comes to the ultra wide camera, under well lit conditions the pictures are decent, but there's very less detail when compared to the main camera, and definitely don't zoom in a lot, and the images from the ultra wide camera are a little flat, like less contrasty, but the colors are true to life. So when you take a look at the pictures from the ultra wide camera, in the shadows there is actually no detail. It's like very dark, and all the same traits of the ultra wide camera pass on to the video section as well. So if you're someone who frequently takes a lot of landscape pictures or pictures of huge thing which requires your ultra wide camera, if you're in a well-lit situation, you can definitely get a really good output. But if the lighting conditions aren't that good or something like that, then it is not going to be the best. Now in terms of the front-facing camera, you do get a 20 megapixel camera, and with that I actually thought the images would be really good. Now the colors are good, the images are bright, but one major thing missing is that there is lack of detail. Now even after turning off all the filters and beauty filters, the image doesn't have that sharpness. There's not much detail. In fact, it looks a lot soft. So I thought it was a softer thing, but even after turning it off, it still is like that. Now don't get me wrong, the image is really good. The colors are really good, the brightness is good, it makes your face really pop, saturation is on point, but there is lack of details. The image is soft, especially in low light conditions. You will get a usable image, but it is a soft image. Of course, if you turn on the on-screen flash thingy feature on, of course you do get a brighter image, but it is on the softer side. So overall, I'm not that happy with the front-facing camera. It is good, but could have been better. So overall, when it comes to camera, I would give this say a 6 or 6.5 out of 10, and I really hope POCO can fix all these things with a software update. And with that said, let's go to the not so good things about the POCO X8 Pro. And the first one is definitely Xiaomi's HyperOS. Now this operating system is filled with ads, and it asks like crazy amounts of permission even for simple day-to-day apps. Now I really hate that. Now, why do you need a lot of permissions for things like camera or your phone dialer, things like that? Why do you need that? And if you talk about the situation of bloatware, it is horrible. Of course, there are many apps that you can uninstall, that is good, but there are apps like this Indus Store app store which you really can't remove. So there is a lot of junk in this operating system. I don't know this is how they make their money, but still it is very irritating. I mean, if you can uninstall, I would really want to uninstall like every bit of it. And this here is a pretty heavy skin. So I really wish Xiaomi would fix it, that is POCO would fix this, but as of right now this is what it is, and I really hate it. And finally, you get only USB 2.0. Now, of course, in today's world, we mostly use online services to transfer files here and there quickly. But if you're someone who still uses your USB port to transfer files from your phone to your computer, it is going to be a tad bit slower compared to USB 3 standards and higher. So yeah, that is something you need to consider if you're someone who still transfers between your phone and your computer. And these are the only two not so good things about this smartphone. And with that said, these are the good things and the not so good things about the POCO X8 Pro. So you can get this smartphone for around 32,000 rupees, but with bank offers, it goes as low as 29,000. And for that price, this here is a pretty good smartphone. Now, there are a lot of good things about the smartphone, like it has amazing performance, amazing display, amazing battery life, amazing speakers. You get like really fast storage and RAM. You do get really good connectivity options, and this here is a pretty good package. Even in terms of camera, the main camera is pretty solid, and if you're someone who is not a camera nerd, then you are going to be okay with this camera setup. And when you consider all of that, this here is a really good smartphone for a majority of the people. Now, even though this is not a compact smartphone, it is on the smaller side when compared to all the modern smartphones. So if you're someone who prefers a little smaller smartphone but with all the good perks, then this again is a great choice. But if you're someone who's like very camera focused, who loves to take a lot of selfies, and if you're someone who wants to get the absolute best pictures out of your smartphone, then this might not be for you. Now, the main camera is definitely good, and if you're someone like me who doesn't shoot a lot of photos or videos, then yeah, you're going to be happy with the smartphone in general. But if you're someone who's like dead focused on the cameras along with good performance, then this might not be the package for you. And there you have it. If you're someone who really values performance, wants the absolute best battery life, good display, and is okay with a really decent set of cameras, then the POCO X8 Pro is definitely for you. So thanks for watching, and this here is Suman signing off once again. Catch you later.